Hi, it's Lauren from Lauren Taylor Made, and today I am hopping along with Team Tiny for our spring hop. For my card today, I'm going to be using the scored vertical cards from scrapbook.com, as well as Mom's Layered Flowers, Pure Stitch Circles die set, and Floral Impressions pattern paper. I have an A2 piece of cardstock here, and I'm just going to use this as a guide to pick a circle die. I go with about the middle die from this set, and I'm using it to frame a piece of this Floral Impressions pattern paper. I really love this sheet with the flowers and the butterfly. So I am figuring out where I want to die cut my circle, and I'm going to use some mint tape to keep that in place and run it through my die cut machine. It's going to fit nicely in the center of my card base. Now I shopped my stash for this ribbon. I've had it for forever. It's this beautiful chevron ribbon, and I just want a little piece of it to kind of pop out from behind my pattern paper circle. So I snipped off a little, and I'm going to use some strong adhesive to adhere that to the back of my circle die cut. So I'm playing with the layers, figuring out how I want it to look behind my paper and where it's going to go. I'm going to lay down some of that strong adhesive and then put my ribbon behind my die cut piece. Once I have it in place how I like it, I'm going to run some additional adhesive over it to make sure it stays in place and it will adhere directly to my card. I'm going to pop up the rest of my die cut so that way it will be flush with the thick amount of ribbon that is now behind this die cut piece. So once that is all secure, I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals behind my patterned paper, peel off the release paper, and adhere that to the top center of my card. I like that this adds a little bit of texture to my card as well as some interest on this white card base. Now for my sentiment, I was originally going to stamp it on a separate piece of paper and either die cut or fussy cut around my sentiment, but I decided to be daring and just stamp right onto my card base. Looking back, I wish I would have done this all on a separate piece of paper and then glued it down to my card base because there will be a little bit of warping when I do some heat embossing, which you will see shortly, but it's not too bad. So I have my Mother sentiment. I really love this scripty font, and I'm doing my best to center it towards the bottom middle of my card base. I'm going to use my Misty because I am being extra careful as I'm stamping directly onto my card. I'm using some Pinecone VersaFine ink, and I stamped it down. I'm really happy with it. And I want to create an ombre effect with some embossing powder. So I am going to just put on a little bit of this beautiful embossing powder from Ink on 3. It's called Strawberry Champagne. It's an ultra fine embossing powder. And once I'm happy with how it is applied to my sentiment, I'm going to get out my heat gun. So while my heat gun is warming up and I'm embossing this sentiment, I just want to tell you a little bit about Team Tiny. If you've been following me for a while, you know that Team Tiny has really helped my channel grow. Everyone on this hop has less than 1,000 subscribers, and we're hopping just to help bring awareness to other channels and help us all grow so we can hit that 1,000 mark. I'll have info down below if you'd like to join our Facebook group. So now that my Mother sentiment is done and embossed, and it has this really pretty ombre effect between the brown ink and my champagne embossing powder, I'm going to stamp the second part of my sentiment also in that Pinecone ink. And it says, "Thank you for everything you do." I've stamped it just below my Mother sentiment, and that will finish up the stamping for my card. I really wanted my pattern paper to be the main focus of my card, so that is all of the stamping that I will be doing. I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure that the crease in my card is nice and crisp, and then I'm going to get out my Sparkle Blends Clearly in Love to add some embellishments around my card. Once I'm happy with the amount and the placement, I'm just going to use my jewel picker and my wet glue to adhere all of those down. And with that, I have finished my card. I hope you enjoyed this quick card tutorial and that you hop along with the rest of Team Tiny today. Just click that hashtag in my title or my description. You can find everything I used to make this card down in my description. I hope you'll click like if you liked it, and if you're new to my channel, I hope you hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.